let's get into database contact cards. Contact cards are crucial. So my business card, right? Saved in Outlook. I use Office 365. That's what this screenshot is of. It's a complete contact card. If I send this out to somebody, they got the company name, they got a little job title, they got a mobile, they got an email, they got a website that takes them right to the blog. That's all in there. Your contact card is almost certainly not this complete. I know this because until I put this presentation together, my own contact card was pretty weak. You know, adding the web domain, I never thought about doing that. You could add a mailing address. You could add a lot of different things. Worth doing. And this is my personal. You probably didn't even notice the slides changed, right? Business, personal. I'm not having two separate cards. I'm not having two separate phones. I'm not having two separate email addresses. No, 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 no. Try and keep things as simple in your life as you can, because your entire personal network is your potential business network. So you don't want to separate the two. Like people with the two Facebook accounts. What do you got, a split personality? What are you, two different people? Why? You know, I think that ship sailed. I think everybody's pretty much understands it's one. I mean, people want to work with a human. They want to work with a person that they understand a little bit. And your personal card, you want to be cautious about your email. I've actually had some really amazing emails that I could have updated this slide with, but I don't want to out anybody. So I'm going to stick with these older ones that, you know, I've already outed these people, but slicksterhipster69@yahoo.com. You know, this is from a mortgage broker. This is from a mortgage broker. It's not necessarily the most professional of emails. Andy is a hotmail@hotmail.com. Now Andy, he's basically like the dude in the balance photo on the one arm. Like Andy, he's built. He's taking care of himself. He's a hot male. But is this really your mortgage broker? Like, you know, it's no, you know, it's just not the way to go. Nicknames, right? Nicknames, you got to be careful as well. I mean, it's really great that this wonderful human's boyfriend took her phone and changed her contact so it read Sweet Darling, so that whenever she sent him a text, it came up Sweet Darling. That was pretty fantastic. And by the way, I messaged Sweet Darling a couple days ago just to make sure I could leave this bit in, because again, you know, you never know who knows who you're talking about, and apparently I got approval. So, you know, I got this, you know, hey Dustin, thanks so much, I've used the worksheet, love the latest. But anyway, I got a little message from Sweet Darling. These nicknames are a little bit dangerous, because imagine you're sitting around the kitchen island and you're getting ready to take off on a business trip. You're going to be gone for 4 or 5 nights, and on the iPad or on your phone or whatever it is, you're sitting there with your significant other and a message pops up, are we still on for tomorrow? You're leaving tomorrow morning. You're going to be in a different province, maybe a different country. Are we still on for tomorrow night? From Sweet Darling. That might give the wrong impression off, right? And again, if you're in business, you probably don't want to be sending that out. Although I could see it, you could make a whole thing about it. You could make an advertising campaign about it. But just be careful what people are actually seeing. How are you showing up as you message them, as you email them? What does it actually look like? And your referral partners. Make sure the contact cards you create for your referral partners are up to date and professional. My buddy John was a plumber. Name change to protect the guilty. My buddy John was a plumber. I went to junior high school with John. So I've had John's number saved since I had my first cell phone, which was like 19 years old. Well, at 19 years old, John lived with his parents. Fast forward 15 years, and I'm referring to some clients, my buddy John, the plumber, to do some work around the place. They phone me back and they say, hey, that phone number was actually for John's parents, because I still had the number when he lived at home with his parents saved as the contact card. So we updated that one a little bit. Gave him a company name, a title, his work office number, the mobile number, the web address, the whole 9 yards. I sent it to him. I said, here's what I'll send out from now, man. I'm so sorry. And he says to me, man, that's actually pretty good. I'm going to save that like to my own phone. Like this looks pretty good when I send this out. So he actually sends that one out now. So you can help your referral partners level up their own game. But yeah, make people look more professional than they've made themselves look. It's a great way to build a relationship, right? So like I say, contact cards created for every incoming call, text, email, you name it, right? Or outgoing call, text, or email. And it can get a little tedious sometimes. You've been copied on an email with 9 other people. I'm saving all those 9 people. It can really get tedious, but it is so worth doing because you never have a mystery call. Like you open your phone up and look at missed calls, you should never see digits ever. You should only ever see the name of an individual or a company or whatever. Save them all. It just makes sense. Somebody calls you once, probably calling you a second time, even the wrong numbers. You call somebody once, you're probably calling them a second time, even the wrong numbers. So be cautious with that. Like I say, everyone, every time, no exceptions. Now, in 2018, this was my contact card count, because of course I'm using some older slides, so I thought this was interesting. 9,688 contacts I had at that time. I've pushed it up to 12,325. So as you can see, I've kept going. I'm still adding almost 1,000 contacts per year, good 700-800 per year. I've kept on going, and so should you. You should never, ever stop this. I will never stop this habit. I can't. I can't break it now. Now, my inbox also has 1,350 emails. I've completely blown it there. I mean, that's ridiculous. I never was ever past inbox 50 when I was brokering, but life. So if I haven't replied to your email, I genuinely apologize. It's still in my inbox because I believe that I'm going to do it. But that inbox count's been like that for a year now, so maybe I need to accept reality. Anyway, client contact cards. In the notes sections, you want to make sure you list the client's realtor, the client's accountant, the client's life partner, co-applicant, their brother, whoever is connected, etc. Whoever you have contact cards for in the notes section, try and put the names. Because then later, when you can't get a hold of the primary borrower who you've had conversations with for 2 months because they're away on a business trip and they dropped their phone off the side of a boat, and now you need to talk to the co-applicant, if you failed to save the co-applicant's digits, that's your first problem. If you failed to save them and actually flag them as, in the notes with the other person's name, they're going to be even harder to find. Or even just trying to get a hold of the client's realtor, right? The client will say, well, call the realtor and grab that document from them. Okay, do you really want to ask 3 weeks into the whole process for the realtor's contact? I mean, you're probably going to Google the realtor instead, but I'm just saying speed and efficiency. Save those digits. And then the other thing is, 2 years later, when you go to email or text or introduce yourself to the realtor on a purchase, and you look in your contact cards, you can then say to that realtor, oh yeah, we worked together on the Luongo file a couple of years back. Oh yeah, I never worked on Luongo's files. You could say, yeah, I worked on the Luongo file. Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, sure, that's great. So you can make that little connection, right? You can make that connection. It's not like you're strangers all over again. Because they might remember you, and if you don't remember them, that doesn't look too great. So again, add the client's name as well into the notes section of the realtor. So when you work with that realtor again, you can see all the different clients you've worked with. And that's actually a pretty interesting little tally sometimes to look at. There's still some realtors I interact with, and when we chit-chat in the contact card, there it is, whoosh. Like it's a pretty big deal. It's very powerful. Same with which lawyer they're using, accountant, etc. Like which law firm is that client closing with? Make sure you have that law firm's name in the client contact card. It just keeps things moving simpler. It's just one more way. It's like a backup of the backup, right? And again, this is a case of going slow to go fast, because contact cards, creating them slows your day down, but it pays huge dividends. And it's really only a minute here or a minute there. It's not the end of the world. And like I say, 12,325 cards later, I know how powerful and how handy and how useful this is. It's incredible to me how years will go by. The older I get, I realize this. Years will go by without interacting with someone. But lo and behold, you're buying another house and you want to get the garage floor sealed, and you just go into your contact cards and you type garage floor sealer, and there's the guy that did your garage floor 6 years earlier. And you can phone them up and you can say, yeah, you did my house up at such and such. And you go, oh yeah, you're the guy that had a couple of dirt bikes. Yeah, I remember that. You did the colors to match the dirt bikes. Yeah, that's me. And boom, are you in the mortgage business? I am. I'm just renewing mine right now. Should I be going fixed or variable? I'm not making this up. That's like, and again, what then happens? I started having a conversation about fixed versus variable. I tell him things he's never known about variable before, and suddenly, well, why isn't my guy telling me any of this stuff? Well, because your guy sucks. Your guy's not trying hard enough. Well, maybe we could work together. Well, no, we can't, but I know somebody who will work harder than the guy you're working with. And then I just like close my eyes and wince and I say, so who are you working with right now? And in that case, luckily he said, the bank. So that was a safe one. So again, we change how? Constant spaced repetition, right? And by the way, have a functional signature. This is a horrible email signature. I purposely kept this in here. It's an older one. You can't tap the phone number and dial it. You can't tap the email address, and you can't tap the web address. It's junk. So make sure your email signature is not a useless image that nobody can actually just tap and hyperlink. Everything needs to be hyperlinked. It's all got to happen instantly, right? Hyperlinks, hyperlinks, hyperlinks. And this, I've had a few emails like this week. I don't know who's paying attention right now, but I'm not singling you out. Again, I've been talking about this for years. It takes 30 seconds, 90 seconds to go into your iPhone and create a proper signature with your phone number, your web address, your whatever else, job title, whatever you want to put in there. Do that. Have your job title so that every time you send an email to someone, they're reminded who you are and what you do. I sent a significant amount of money to somebody recently for a thing, and a significant amount. Professional company. And I got a reply back, okay, thanks, sent from my iPhone. I kind of just had like a moment. It was like, geez, that was a big chunk of change I just like wired over. Is it like actually at a real company? Or is it just some dude with his iPhone sent from my iPhone? Like, it just looks weak. Be better. Be better. And sent from my iPad. That's also come multiple times from multiple different people who are way high up in organizations in our industry, and it blows my mind. Sent from my iPad, sent from my iPhone? Like, you have a freaking killer job title. Come on. Like, put that job title out there. And you need to remind people over and over and over, what do you do for a living again? What do you do for, you will have clients, let me phrase it this way. You'll have friends, 8 years you're in the business, 8 years, and they'll say, so you still a broker? Yeah, like I won a couple awards and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm still a broker. Really? How do you not know I'm a broker? Oh, well, yeah, wait a minute, that's on me. When have I ever communicated to them that I'm a broker, right? Like, keep that in mind. So as I say, you have to be relentless with the contact cards. You have to have a professional domain coming up next and a professional appearance. But that's just a given. That's table stakes. We talked about that. And the platforms matter as well. We'll get into this topic as well.